respond with 6 laps to go. Morelli has.
Well, that's right. I mean, as you say, Tama.
He had his first junior GP podium just a couple of weeks ago in Aragon. He had a
Not huge. Morelli, the fastest lap of the race so far. He had a fall yesterday. He said he was going for pole. He just pushed and pushed and pushed until he pushed too hard and slid off.
Wild card replacement ride in the Moto3 World Championship as Veda goes back. Really pulled.
But he said, I'm okay, the bike's okay, you know, I'm going to do it in the race. And he's chasing Brian.
Bumper cars with Gonzalez.
Yeah, he could see Brian and them getting away at the front. And he
pin, haven't they? Yeah, they have really pulled the pin big style as they cross the line.
Riate very strongly now.
Morelli just really wants to make another move back on Pratama and get through.
Doesn't want to let that happen. That was pretty hairy stuff, but they both got away from it, or away with
pushing a full 2.5 seconds adrift actually. That went up big again. He clearly thinks he's got better pace, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does, yes, absolutely. But it's given an advantage to Riate and Morelli in front.
Veda, though, as he's got time in the final sector alone. So this is a real chasing group. I don't think they're going to be...
You know, as I say, Marco is capable of anything, anytime, any weekend. His head has just got to be...
Daniel for company, looking up the inside right behind the Christian. Really wants to try and find a way to make him able to catch back on. They've got to do something very special. Morelli's doing what he did back in Assen last...
In it, and it's in it at the moment.
I think you've described him right. He is an enigma, isn't he? He's one of those riders. Move at turn 8. I just don't think it's particularly possible with that, as Brian Geary's just basically saying, I'm absolutely having it. If you're quick enough, come with. If not, I'll see. As you just think on his given day, fastest in the race, no question.
Great pass by...
Moves all the way over to the inside of the track, and him and Morelli going toe to toe. But part firme, chaps.
That's right. Now, Benyat Fernandez, as I say, he's carrying a wrenched arm into this. Also, Veda Pratama up into second place behind Brian Riate.
And then Dan Gonzalez really lost out his bit. Morelli keeps the lead. Daniel out to third. Pratama maintains fourth position. It's all on Peter.
Carrying a sort of a small injury is Zen Matani. Up the inside goes Brian Riate.
Properly pushed back now. Morelli moves through into third as well. A couple of riders want to keep an eye on Peter. Penultimate lap time coming up. Gonzalez pushes Veda wide again. Let's
Riate to take second place from David Gonzalez. Superb stuff.
Gonna rename pushing in ninth. He had good pace last time around. Then you've got Benyat Fernandez and Christian Daniel 10th and a C. Here we go then. 2 laps left of this absolute in Larry lunge after that one, because that was brilliant.
But it was the David Gonzalez move, really, wasn't it?
11th. Not seen too much of them this weekend, but they have been big heavy hitters the last few rounds. Gorilla in Spielberg.
Now, Brian said after the race yesterday that he knew he had some on the brakes, but anyway, he replayed that superbly. So now Zen Matani is at the back of that.
Rookies Cup. Can they do something today or maybe tomorrow to cap off their great seasons?
Well, that's right. They both something over Veda Pratama. He said, I can't tell you what it is, but I know something. Group. He came into the weekend carrying a wrenched shoulder and said that in the first race, been podium guys, haven't they? And they've both been quick, and they've really just got to put it together in this final weekend. That he doesn't about this track. Well, this is the time to show what he can do, because with Veda Pratama back, he just hung in the group, you know, because he wanted to save the shoulder as much.
Ramadeepa, fastest rider on track then, just in the back of this group. Dinesh still in 7th.
In 4th, in fact 5th or 6th place at the moment. It's Marco Morelli who has the advantage. It's possible. Then over the last couple of laps, he said, I just closed my mind to the pain.
Place, not able to make any inroads on Matani just ahead of him. Well, it looks like he has, but Matani just...
Christian Daniel Jr. up into 3rd place behind Brian Riate, and Veda Pratama back in. Closed my mind, looked ahead and went for it. And he said, I'm going to do the same thing in race 2.
Pushes him way wide, forces him well wide, and Joel Pons has unfortunately gone down at turn 15.
4th place under great pressure from Benyat Fernandez and Gonzalez and Capuchin.
It's all very...
So that is why, as much as anything, Zen is sitting there in 5th place rather than Habati.
Oh, it's been a torrid year for poor Joel. He looked really good at practice, didn't he? But qualifying did well, and having the upper hand and knowing something about this track that Veda doesn't. But Brian, Veda behind you. What have you got on Mark?
Rolling hammer and tongs at every corner with the guys ahead of him.
Well, there we go. Smart lad, smart lad. As we look back, work out for him.
No, he did look good. In practice, but he just had a lousy both seasons, first season, second.
Morelli out front, no plan B, 95, looking for a ride in the World Champ. Down the order then, it's Karpushin and Benyat Fernandez, Ramadipa, Plump, Pugliese's fallen off.
He's looking for his first win of the season.
Carter Thompson in championship next year. It's his final season in Rookies Cup. Will he sign off with another win before?
We almost lost Morelli.
Oh, that was a big moment, wasn't it? And he's 13th position. He's another one of our podium finishers and front runners that's just bit off the boil in recent rounds, potentially heading to the world stage.
As I say, he qualified on the front row in third place.
Still keeping it pinned. Uriarte though responding. They're getting faster and faster, lap by lap, 144.9 rounds in terms of his actual results on paper, but he is, it has been
on the spare bike, so he's obviously got this sorted out now. It's working really well for him
this time around. Well, this race is absolutely on, isn't it? Morelli decides to is he doing consistently up there throughout the season, so would love to see more from him in these final two races
for him, and he's making full use of it.
Christian Daniel Jr. in third position has a track limits warning one more time. That because maybe a wet patch caught him out and he wants somebody else to take charge or what?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right, there's still 11 laps remaining. It's time you think about, is somebody saving the tyres, that sort of...
I'm on the green, and he too will have a long lap penalty. He cannot afford to make that mistake again. Then is he just a bit spooked and needs to gather himself again?
Well, yeah, he knows there's a few laps to go and he can afford just to thing. The Pirellis do last very, very well. They also give tremendous feedback.
Number 70 going for second, up on the inside of Brian Uriarte. He finally makes a move at turns.
Just to follow Brian for a corner or two, because he's not going to get away from them, is he? No, three abreast. So even if they do start to go off a little bit, they give plenty of warning to the riders. So
7, absolutely brilliant from the American, up in the second spot. This is
behind Brian Uriarte, but Marco Morelli holds on to second place ahead of. We're hopefully not going to have any dramas like that. Uriarte now under pressure from Marco Morelli.
It's absolutely sensational,
and it's going to be about 5 abreast on the brakes here. It's Veda Pratama.
That was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Well then, Leo Ramastorfi. Morelli, I wonder if it's at mid-season, sort of the question marks over his future.
Marco Morelli with the advantage.
Veda on the inside. Brian's back to 5th, Peter.
Yeah, and
to 9th place as well as we look back down the other. Lennox Famara as well, the Swiss rider. This is the best we've seen from him. Potentially, it does tend to happen in the riders' third years. All those questions.
Are they going to keep off the green as they go on to the last lap through this long right-hander? They're all
really, really good stuff. Congratulations to him for that ride. However he